Thanks so much for taking time to watch this brief video. We found that there are a lot of misconceptions that more or less kind of taint the market, cloud the market per se when it comes to short sales. And what I wanted to do is walk through briefly a few of those misconceptions and address those. One of the things that we hear daily is that short sales take forever and they never close. Well, that is true in many cases, I'm sure, but with our company, we do short sales only. This is our sole business model. So as a result, we have about a 90% closure rate. We screen our clients up front. We know pretty much what's going to happen on the front end. So we make sure to do the screening process and set your expectations correctly. If we don't think we can do it, we're not going to take it on and waste your time, nor ours. Another thing that we hear quite often from sellers is that we owe way more than the property's worth, and there's no way the lender's going to let us out of that. Well, that makes sense. However, look at it from the bank's perspective. It's pretty simple. They're going to get 22 to 24% more on average if they do a short sale than if they foreclose. So it basically is follow the model of follow the money. Okay, wherever they're going to get more money, they're going to go. Will they forgive a balance of $200,000? Well, yeah, they're more willing to do that than they are to lose $250,000 if they foreclose. Another thing that we hear is, well, we have multiple mortgages, okay, and there's no other way that's going to work. Again, very understandable. However, it's a situation where 75% of the short sales that we work on actually have multiple mortgages. So what happens is the first mortgage company agrees to throw a certain amount of money over to the second mortgage company to get it to release. And if the second mortgage company doesn't release, well, they're going to probably end up with zero if the property forecloses. So it's a very common misconception that if you have multiple mortgages, you can't short sell, but you can. Another question we get is, will I have to pay taxes on the portion of my loan that's not repaid? It's a great question. Generally, no. Not always, but generally, no, because the IRS does have a provision for the Debt Relief Act of 2007, which allows for unpaid principal on your primary residence to not be a taxable event. Okay, you want to talk to your CPA about it, but in most cases, it's not going to be a taxable event. Another question that comes up or concern is, well, we're going to have to pay a realtor to do this. We don't have the money. We can't afford to make our mortgage payment as it is, so how are we going to pay a realtor? That's a great question. Very simply put, your lender is going to pay us or a realtor out of the net proceeds, so this is not going to be an out-of-pocket expense. A lot of times we'll hear that, we're going to sell our house, so we need to fix it up. We need to get it ready. We need to dress it up. We need to polish it, make it look good, or we're going to have to make repairs once it goes under contract. Again, this is a different kind of transaction in the sense that the buyer's getting an excellent price on it. They're buying it as is. There's no home prep. There are no repairs needed. This is not a situation where you're going to come out of pocket for anything, so don't expect to pay any money to get your home ready or repair it. There's often a stigma or perceived stigma that you might have, your neighbors might know that you're short selling, and believe me, I understand where you're coming from. However, most of the times we're going to sell without signs. It's going to be a very, very low key, very low impact transaction, and more often than not, your neighbors generally aren't even going to know that your house sold, believe it or not. It's very common, very standard for that to occur. And the last thing that we hear is that, well, we're kind of in this financial situation where other liens have been placed on the house. IRS liens, Department of Revenue liens, HOA liens, very, very, very common. And although that can be a bit of a stumbling block, generally what we'll find is that the first mortgage holder is going to provide a pool of funds to pay down or pay off these liens to release them so that they can short sell the property and, again, mitigate their loss. So at the end of the day, don't let liens on your property influence your decision whether to short sell or not, because at the end of the day, we're going to be able to work through those in most cases with the assistance of your first mortgage holder. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch this video. Hopefully it shed some light on things that you may have believed to be true that weren't. And again, this is not a place that most of us thought we would find ourselves, so it's very uncharted territories. So we would really strongly encourage you to either email us or call us to do a confidential consultation and walk through the screening process and see if you are a good short sale candidate. Again, thanks so much for watching.